Hey y'all, I hope everybody's well today. It is Monday morning. I'm outside. I wanted to do a quick little walkabout video for y'all because I've attempted to put up 2 walkabout videos this weekend and I've had to delete each one because of audio problems. So I'm sorry for any confusion on that. So it's about 50 degrees here in Dothan, Alabama, zone 8B, and the skies are gray. But there is still a lot of beautiful things going on in the garden, and so I wanted to do a quick little walkabout and show y'all some of that today and give y'all a few updates. So come along with me and let's go for a little walk. I'll start out by showing y'all how this Francis Mason Abelia is doing in the pot on my front porch. I put them in maybe a month and a half ago, I guess, and now they're starting to leaf out and look really beautiful this winter. This weekend I went to a local nursery and I purchased some of my absolute favorite little flowers, violas. Orange little violas are my favorite winter flower, and so I just planted up this little terracotta pot with a few of them, some little mondo grass, and I did another little terracotta pot on the other side of the door to match. So that was fun. Now let's turn and go over to the other side of the garden where I'm going to show y'all the latest big transformation that has taken place. So as y'all know, if you've been following my channel, this is a new home. We just moved in 3 months or so ago, and I've removed a lot from the front landscape. We removed a huge hedge of Yopon holly from along the front side of our home, and I planted Distilium. I removed a big boxwood hedge that was underneath each of the windows on the side of the house, as well as some hollies, planted some wintergreen boxwood. I also put in this beautiful Oakland holly, which I brought over from the other house, as well as some gold mop cypress. And it is just doing its thing. So the most recent development is that I removed the huge hedge of holly that extended from about that drain pipe, the corner there, all the way to the driveway. It was a large hedge that had been kept in a very tight square shape, and initially I thought I might leave it, but as I got to looking and thinking about it, I realized that it was just a little bit one-dimensional and a little bit unimaginative, and it was hindering me from being able to do what I really wanted to do in this landscape. And so this weekend I went out and I bought this Oakland holly at a local nursery, and I think it's going to really look nice. Accentuating this corner right here. And the thing about that I wanted to share is that I did not really have a vision of exactly what I was going to do in this entire bed as I was removing these hollies. That's okay, y'all. If something doesn't look real good to you, and if it's old, if it's tired, you just take it out and you trust that you are going to get that vision. It'll always come. It may take a little time, but you don't have to have a complete vision in your mind for a garden space before you make some changes and take some things out. It's a real gray day here, but there is still a lot of beautiful things happening in the garden. The camellias are blooming. And they are a pink color. I'm not exactly sure what this variety is. This has been here for a long time. So this is a hedge that leads over here to this fun little space. And I don't know exactly what I will do with this space, but I think that I have lots of potential. And y'all, I just want y'all to see this architecture of this beautiful redbud. If there's one thing that I really am thankful for about this new landscape, it is the architecture and the mature specimens that are in this landscape. Someone said that they were going to live out their redbud dreams through me because she did not have the ability to have redbuds. So I want to give y'all a real good look. It's just so pretty. Now this is a divinely blue deodar cedar that I ordered from theplantingtree.com. It's a topiary right now that I have in this concrete pot, but it will eventually reach the foliage will eventually grow all the way down in weeping form, hopefully, and cover up that branch, that stem. So on we go. A couple of weekends ago we got out, and in this space here, this is the understory space. All these pines create dappled sun in this natural area, and so I planted 2 bloodgood Japanese maples in this area, as well as an orange flame. They've all lost their leaves as of this point for the most part, but for about 2 weeks in the late fall we got a real show, and especially with that orange flame. It had the brightest orange foliage, y'all. Now, I know a lot of you who are watching this channel are vegetable gardeners, and I can't wait to tap into your knowledge when it comes time for me to clean out and cultivate these raised beds. I have 2 raised beds that came with this house, and I can't wait to try my hand at some vegetable gardening. Here's some ginger, and I know that there are peppers and tomatoes and some really fun things back here. So, and some rosemary. I'd like to clean it all up though and just kind of start fresh. Now I'm going to show y'all what's been going on over here. I planted the Carl Fuchs deodar cedar over here on this corner, which is the south facing bed, and in that same bed I put a drift of Francis Mason abelia, as well as some boxwood. But over here we have a brick containing wall, and what I think I'll do here is, to soften the wall, I am adding in some limelight hydrangea. These are little limes or baby limes, and I do like these better than your standard limelights because the blooms stay a little smaller and they don't flop over as bad. These get about 5 to 6 feet tall and wide, as opposed to your standard limelights, which get probably 8 feet tall and wide. They're just quite bigger. Now, if you've been following this channel, you remember this 4-ball Carolina Sapphire Cypress topiary. I bought this in Montgomery, Alabama at a place called Southern Home and Garden, and it is an awesome day trip if you are anywhere around this area. They have tons of stuff for your garden and for inside the house. But at the last house, I had this topiary surrounded by a mass of oak leaf hydrangeas, and so I liked that so much, I'm going to try to recreate that look over here in this corner. Now, let's look over here. We have a stunning display of pink camellia over here in the natural area between our house and our neighbors, and it is just going off. And I gotta tell y'all that we just had the biggest ordeal. We had a leak in our irrigation system, which is part of the reason I haven't posted in a little while, is because we've had so much going on with that. Other stuff has gone on as well that have just kept me from being able to post. But we lost 3 swimming pools worth of water in the month of October, and our November bill was astronomical. It was like $375, and we couldn't find the leak to save our lives. Finally, we got a guy from Florida to come up, and he found it for us, and I had a local landscaper come out, and he fixed it and did a great job for us. But that was like a 2-week ordeal. And the leak was under this huge hedge of gardenia. And it was in our irrigation system. It is thankfully repaired, and I hope and pray that we never have another situation like that. All right, one of the things that I wanted to show y'all in this walkabout was just the beauty of this Japanese Magnolia. You know, when everything is gray out and the leaves are all gone and everything's gone dormant, you can still find so much beauty in the garden. Look at that. I've got a lot of bird activity going on today as well, y'all. Now, I've got some plans for this area back here. I've inherited a really nice, well, it doesn't look nice right now, but I've inherited a really nice stand of hydrangea over here near the golf course. And I also inherited quite a large bed of blackberry bushes, which the other weekend I came out here with my shovel and I started taking them up because they're so messy looking, and there's a lot of weeds over here in this area. But I want to show y'all something. This spot has a ton of potential. So from about these azalea bushes over is the golf course property. But from these blackberry bushes and those azaleas up to my right is our property. And so I thought it would be so much fun to do a very pretty bed out here just for the golfers as they drive by. And you know what? It would make me so happy. Even if nobody on the golf course really cares about gardening, I think it'll be nice for them to at least get to see a little bit of something special as they pass our house. Now, I don't know when the last time is that these hydrangeas have had a real good pruning, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to shear them down to about a foot off the ground, and I may lose my next year blooms, but that's okay, because I want to just clean them up, take out any dead wood, clean out all that pine straw, and hopefully after some fertilizing this spring, I'll have some really pretty hydrangeas as a backdrop for this bed. Now, this is the part that needs a little help too. There is some real overgrown and messy stuff back here. This is privet, which is very invasive, and that's because it can adapt to all light situations, and it sort of snuffs out your native plants. So I pulled some privet up over here in this area, and look what I found when I did. I found an Nandina domestica, and I also found another little Nandina domestica, and I'm probably going to take those and move them, but it's kind of exciting to see what you find whenever you start cleaning out a space. And here's a little magnolia. And I found a little pathway too. So what I'm thinking about for this area right near the golf course is I'm going to take up those azaleas. They're not very pretty. They're not the encore, so you get 2 weeks of blooms and then the rest of the year you have this. This is just not my vision. So these are going to come out. I'll probably put a staggered hedge of Oakland holly to add some structure, some soft caress mahonia, as well as some mondo grass. I've got some Lamandra breeze grass that goes well in shade or sun, and some gold mop cypress. So I have a lot of thinking and planning to do, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's walk up to the house and then we'll wrap up our little tour. I hope this is going to give y'all kind of something bright and relaxing to do on this Monday. Had a lot of bird activity in this tree today. The last thing I want to show y'all is something that I came out and did this weekend. I took out that hedge, 2 hedges of Indian hawthorns that were under the porch on either side of the steps. They were old and scraggly, and it felt so good for my soul to just take those out. And now I can actually envision something that I could do here. And I'm thinking about the possibility of some emerald snow lore petalum in the back, and then in front maybe some hydrangeas, definitely some cone-shaped boxwoods where each of those containers are. I'd like to have cone-shaped boxwoods on either side of this first step, and then I'll keep these containers probably in this bed. I just may have to move them. I also planted some more orange violas and some mondo grass and some English ivy in these 2 pots. So I'm excited to see those as they grow. All right, my hands are freezing and it is getting chilly out, so it's time to go in. Thank y'all for joining me on this little walkabout this Monday morning, and I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope y'all have a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and I just want to say, as things get stressful this week, or if you find yourself real busy and overwhelmed, just remember the reason for the season, and that is Jesus. So I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope y'all have a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.